Pleasant good day, viewers, and welcome to the Michael Morgan Show. Today we have with us our guest, Mr. Dave Sylvester, who is a community activist and a security personnel. He has given a lot of years into security, so one of the reasons why we invite him is to basically give an overview of the budget on the whole question of crime and the security apparatus that can be put forward to the nation future. So welcome, Mr. Sylvester, at the Michael Morgan Show.
It's an honor to be here, Mr. Morgan. I'm grateful to be here and thankful to be here in front of cameras. Usually I'm camera shy, but it's an honor to be here to express some of my views, which has been accepted via
So
committee.
it's a pleasure. The pleasure is all mine as well. One of the topic on the budget, we want to highlight issues of the budget and how it could have an impact on the community of East Port of Spain. And one of the topic that come to mind is the crime situation. East Port of Spain suffer a great deal. It is also considered as a hot spot, and there's no set of resources because there's a need for job opportunity for the residents of the area. So your overview of the budget, you believe that it had any sort of positive impact for the benefit of the residents of East Port of Spain?
I would say yes, and I would say no. Because no amount of money given to any particular entity or association or organization, it has never been enough, because there's always more to be done. I don't know if you follow what I'm saying. Is that you fix A, but then you still have B to fix, and then you have to go down to C. Understand? Given that my security experience working within community area, you understand, we are losing some of our facial values that we had in the sporting arena back then to the present time, and these times is more, we say more computerized. You understand? A more computerized era we're living in. But yes, it could have some effects within the community once it is properly managed.
Well, I understand on the budget they also mention community sports. So you believe in community, with this new initiative, I understand that it had community sports sometime in the past.
Yeah.
In what way the community sports could be a positive interaction with the community, so that it will sort of minimize crime, it will sort of create a sort of a community spirit and a camaraderie amongst the youths, amongst community in general. We don't want, for one, I wouldn't only focus on youths. I would focus on the community, because it have the grandparents, it have the mothers, it have the single fathers, the single mothers, all right, that could have some level of involvement in this community sports. Because they have ways and means where they could sell a little sweet drink, a little water, a little fried chicken, and things like that. So it is very essential economically for the community. So what we was thinking about, what I was hoping to get from you, is how the community could benefit from the community sports, as it entail organizing, as it entail occupying certain grounds, as it entail security personnel, all right, as it entails safety for these sports. You mind highlighting anything on that?
Well, I want to say, one of the aspirations, one of the areas we have to develop to really make community sports back to how the old days was, community center. I don't know if you understand when I say I use the term community center. No, I am a Carnage person, and we have community center. Our community center is viable and functional at least up to 2020. I don't know what's been happening because I've been out of touch with them, but the community
center and community grounds
is the basic ground to get people to interact with each other in where community sports, culture. If for instance, we have a disaster in the area, the primary function of the community center is like a base camp. Everybody who have something to say or to contribute or come to the community center and share their ideas, their views.
So what you're saying, in other words, there's a need to refurbish
refurbish community center where don't have build one immediately. Because if a community do have a community center, how are they going to meet? How are they going to interact?
That is a strong point. That is a strong point.
They have to have a meeting place, a bonded
What
place.
about the security component? What about having the police, the army? That is to ensure that people feel safe in the whole aspect of the sports.
Well, the army, police, they have divisions that they contribute to villages in helping out in various aspects like transportation and various other aspects.
So their input would
they have
be,
always had the input into community.
So you didn't see no difficulty with that.
No, it have no difficulty.
What other aspiration? What other sort of interaction you could envisage with the different groups that would be involved? You foresee any difficulty like the bad boys coming up and saying that they do what this one here and things like that?
Those type of comments has always been in inauguration. I am 64 years now, and I can tell you since I was from 14 years that those things has always been a problem. How much of a problem it is now is the definement of that.
All right, let me get back to the budget. Now, in the budget, it also mentioned about the question of property tax. You want to give us a little view on that?
I want to give a little say on that because it's a laughter. Because at one time you were saying no property tax and not no property tax.
Yes, the government
now you're seeing in the papers they tell the property tax to be collected. You understand? Mr. Finance says government is advanced stages of operation.
You think it's a good idea coming from the government to receive tax for properties and so on? Where's your view?
Eventually, it will happen.
Right.
You understand?
And
property tax is going because all is going to run out one of these days, and they're going to have to find other ways to make revenue. And property taxes is one of the.
What is some of the shortcomings in terms of an individual having a property, and he is being taxed at a particular rate, while there are certain other individuals that have 5 and 6 and 7 commercial.
There's a disadvantage with that.
All right, you want to elaborate?
I want to see if I can elaborate. I'm going by pre-fax information. I haven't totally complete my investigation on this because. All right, let me get you. I have a property.
Yeah.
I am paying $100 property tax for my property. But I have a neighbor now, he have 5 different properties. But he's paying the same $100 tax for one, as if it's one property. That is totally a disadvantage.
So what you're saying, the persons who was making those decisions, those policy makers, perhaps fall asleep at that juncture? So they wasn't aware of that?
I have to say they fall asleep.
Or they was making that decision for their friends or for themselves?
Well, it's self and friends, because there's a trick in that. In law, certain types of law is basically like for rape, you know. There's a law for adult rape, and then there's a different law for under minor rape. Minor. In this case, it wasn't overseen. You understand? It was overseen for later date to amend. If you understand what I'm saying.
So that will be amended.
Yeah, eventually they have to amend it because one man can be paying the same and have more, and paying the same as the man that the man who have less.
I get your point. Should we take a break at this point and come back on the budget? Because we have to pay our bills.
Yes. You know. It's a must.
All right, thank you.
Bills have to be paid.
All right, thank you very much. Welcome back to the Michael Morgan Show with our guest, Mr. Dave Sylvester, and we are dealing with the aspect of the budget. right? Mr. Sylvester, before our break, we was speaking in terms of, the sports, the community sports and crime, and well, we haven't dived into culture as yet. However, there's also the question of our Christmas back pay. People would like to know about how they could benefit from, who is entitled to what, and that sort of thing.
Well, the Christmas back pay, as far as I understand it, that is going for those people who accept the 4% wage increase. They will also be receiving whatever duration that they get for their back pay. For whatever time duration had passed, they have the little Christmas back pay they get. I believe it's about 37,000, 36,000 of them are going to receive.
From what division? From what?
Well, it will be mostly government workers.
All right.
Daily paid workers and
daily paid workers
sector
as well.
Yes, and we're talking about from PTSC, come right back up to.
What about CPEP and URP, the poor man?
That has always been up, but I haven't seen anything written up for them within this budget, or I should say, I haven't reached that section as yet.
All right.
To see much allocation they get, but as far as I understand, they get less than they normally would get. That is what keep killing URP under real pressure, right? This URP is supposed to be more open. You understand? I find URP right now too enclosed, alongside with CPEP. It comes like now, if you're not politically motivated, you won't get anything out from CPEP, with CPEP, around CPEP. And I find it declining it too much. They're shrinking it too much. It's supposed to be expanding instead of shrinking, URP and CPEP.
How does that impact on the unemployment rate of the country right now?
Well, I see they have an article written in the budget. They say that unemployment has decreased. I can't see that. They say it decreased to 2 point something from 4 point something. I am not seeing that. Because I'm still seeing a lot of young people out here who are not working. They don't have no incentive getting to nothing but work is concerned.
What is the sort of, what is the method they use to determine unemployment has shrink?
I don't know what method they are measuring by. They say that unemployment has shrunk. You understand? Because if you open your eyes and you're on the streets, like you're walking across Independence or Independence Square or the Promenade, you see it for yourself. You see how much people who are not employed just begging or asking.
Well, that is evident. I agree with you. You don't have to preach to the converted. What I would like to ask, what I would like you to give your opinion on, is what people, institutions like the NPOs, the NGOs, the churches, the pantheaters, the various civil society, what they could do that could be impactful to create employment opportunities to the many masses, the many poor.
Well, I will start first with pan. The pan thing is years now we're talking about a pan factory. Sweden have a pan factory, Japan have a pan factory, and the way the art has been created, we have no synopsis near to a pan factory. A pan factory will do as well, because it will create employment. You understand? It will increase the enhancement of the creativity in doing more invention around pan, because so they made a pan like a rainbow. You know, the different note, and it plays you just have to get common sense and you know how to play this thing like a normal conventional band. You know, so there is room if we could have our own pan factory.
And who you believe can engineer or pioneer these type of things?
Well, I will start with band leaders, pan band leaders. These are the commonalities that the people around.
Besides the pan theater, besides the pan leaders, what about the NGOs getting involved in promotion of culture?
Yes, I think they should all join the bandwagon.
Or even the ministry. Can there be some sort of petition going to the ministry as to how they should be treating certain innovations and things like that?
Well,
to create employment opportunities?
When a fellow creates an art, an invention, or a theory that could benefit mankind, he doesn't always get the gratitude up front. It's after you're dead And go on, then you get the gratitude.
I wasn't thinking
No,
about
I-
an
I-
individual. I wasn't thinking about it. Hear my
I-
point, because I don't think you grasp what I'm saying. The point I'm making is how can the society approach the development aspect of a particular issue like employment opportunities via certain institution, via the ministry. Well, right now you'll notice that the ministry is basically sort of lame in terms of pursuing certain things like this, the community sports. One would be at a loss as to how they would approach that. If there would be teams coming together, going to putting forward a budget, and accumulating certain teams and so on, and going to the ministry and sort of putting forward the proposal to the ministry to get funding to how that would be done.